Kenya, the economic hub of East Africa, has long aspired to become an industrialized nation. Yet, despite numerous policy initiatives and economic growth, the country remains heavily reliant on agriculture and imports. Why does Kenya struggle to industrialize? Let's explore the challenges, past mistakes, and the solutions that could help Kenya finally achieve its industrial dream. After gaining independence in 1963, Kenya embarked on an ambitious industrialization plan. Import substitution. Industrialization, ISI, was adopted to produce locally what was previously imported. The government invested in state-owned enterprises and manufacturing plants. However, these efforts soon faltered due to mismanagement, corruption, and weak infrastructure. Many factories failed to become profitable, leading to economic losses. Kenya's presidents have since independence attempted to industrialize the nation. Jomo Kenyatta, for instance, focused on import substitution industrialization and established state-owned enterprises such as Kenya textile mills and pan paper mills. Kenya's manufacturing sector contributed about 10% to GDP in the 1970s, but stagnated due to inefficiencies. Between 1978 to 2002, Daniel Moi introduced structural adjustment programs, SAPs, in the 1980s under pressure from the IMF and World Bank. He privatized state corporations, leading to the decline of local industries unable to compete with imports. Kenya's manufacturing contribution to GDP dropped from 13% in 1980 to 10% in 2000. Kenya's third president, Mwai Kibaki, between 2002 and 2013 launched Vision 2030 in 2008, aiming to transform Kenya into a middle-income industrialized nation. He improved infrastructure, including Thika Superhighway and energy projects, as well as creating special economic zones. But manufacturing GDP contribution remained around 9%. Uhuru Kenyatta's Big Four agenda prioritized manufacturing, targeting a 15% contribution to GDP by 2022. He supported textile industries and special economic zones in Naivasha and Mombasa. By 2021, manufacturing still only contributed 7.6% to GDP due to high taxation, corruption, and inconsistent policies. Currently, President William Ruto plans to support local manufacturing through value addition in agriculture. His commitment to reducing import dependency, though execution remains to be seen while manufacturing still lags at approximately 7.5% of GDP as of 2023. Despite these efforts, Kenya has not achieved large-scale industrialization. Policies often lack long-term commitment, and economic reforms have sometimes undermined local businesses. In Kenya's manufacturing industry, ownership structures have played a crucial role in shaping industrial growth. The sector is dominated by two key groups: businesses owned by Kenyans of African origin and those owned by Kenyans of Asian, largely Indian, origin. While Africans own most micro and small enterprises, Kenyan Asians and multinational corporations dominate medium and large enterprises. The ability to mobilize financial resources and access international business networks has contributed to this disparity, limiting the ability of African-owned firms to scale up into larger industries. Another major issue is the structure of Kenya's industrial sector. Manufacturing is heavily concentrated in three major urban areas: Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu. The sector is dominated by food processing, textiles, cement production, and petroleum refining, with food processing accounting for over 30% of total manufacturing output. However, the industry has shown limited diversification, restricting Kenya's ability to compete in advanced manufacturing sectors. Historically, Kenya's industrialization was driven by three key sectors: textiles, food processing, and metal industries. While textiles flourished in the early years of independence, market liberalization in the 1980s led to its collapse. By contrast, food processing and metal industries have remained resilient, driven by demand from regional markets. The Egyoe initiative in 2001 briefly revitalized the textile industry, increasing Kenya's textile exports from $30 million in 2000 to nearly $250 million by 2005. However, failure to create backward linkages to revive cotton farming prevented sustained growth. Today, cheap textile imports dominate the local market, making it difficult for Kenyan manufacturers to compete. Despite setbacks in textiles, Kenya's oil and steel industries show potential for growth, particularly with recent discoveries of fossil fuels and iron ore. These industries could drive industrial expansion if well developed under clear policies. Manufacturing in Kenya remains labor-intensive, yet productivity levels are low compared to global standards. Total factor productivity in Kenya's manufacturing sector has stagnated due to outdated technology, lack of R&D investment, and an emphasis on academic education over technical training. Statistics indicate that employment in large firms has declined, while small and micro enterprises dominate the sector. However, these small firms often struggle due to limited access to financing and technology. Studies show that only 5.34% of Indian-owned firms are sole proprietorships compared to 94% of African-owned firms, highlighting disparities in business scalability. To break the cycle of industrial stagnation, Kenya needs a multifaceted approach. 1. Modernize infrastructure, investing $4 billion annually in roads, railways, and ports. 2. Energy reforms, lowering power costs to below $0.10 per kilowatt-hour. 3. Investment in technical education, expanding vocational training to reduce the skills gap. 4. Smart protectionism, temporary tariffs on select imports to support local industries. 5. Encourage innovation in R&D, strengthening industry-academia linkages. 6. Support SMEs, improving access to capital and technology. 7. Public-private partnerships, encouraging FDI and leveraging AFCFTA for market expansion. Industrialization is not just a policy goal, it's a necessity for Kenya's economic future. With strategic policies, Kenya can transform into a manufacturing powerhouse, creating jobs, reducing import dependency, and securing a prosperous future for generations to come.